Good evening, everyone. It is indeed the final round of the grade 6 debate. And we thank everyone who is on YouTube joining us this evening for the final round of debates. And so we want to say congratulations to our grade 6 students. They have done extremely well in the PEP examinations. And so we want to thank them so much because they are online, though they are celebrating, they have found time to be with us this evening. And we want to thank all of our viewers, and we want you to also make sure that you are utilizing your fingers to just post some congratulatory statements to our students of the grade 6 cohort. 72 strong, and they have been doing quite a lot. And this evening is no exception. I invite you at this time to stand or just remain respectful as we play the national anthem. Thank you so much, technical team. And at this time, I'd like to acknowledge our technical team. It's comprised of two of our hardworking staff members, Mr. Rashawn White and Ms. Zanya Walters. We thank them for actually doing that part of the setup this evening, and they have been so committed in several matches and just our activities for the year. And we thank them for what they do. I also would like to introduce to you our esteemed panel of judges. Let me introduce at this time Ms. Paula Gooden, Client Relations Officer at Beryllium. Monique Henry, Analyst at Citibank. Deandra Scott, Document Officer at Citibank. Tamika Blake, Budget Analyst at Citi. I am actually not getting that final word on my listing correctly at this time, but she's based in Florida. We will actually ask her for the pronunciation at this time. Please, Miss Blake, help me out.
So it's City of Boca Raton.
Boca Raton in Florida. Thank you so much. And so we have an international panel of judges this evening, and we want to thank them for being here over the period. We've had one or two joining us for the last round, but we'd like to actually say thank you to those repeat judges who have been with us during the course of these debates. We thank you so much for what you do. And we ask that you will commit yourselves to joining us next year for another round of debates. At this time, I'd like to present to you the first persons who are going to be debating the moot. Very interesting moot as we make sure that we think about an all-inclusive school at St. Andrew Prep. The moot is, be it resolved that sign language should be a compulsory subject in schools. The moot, be it resolved that sign language should be a compulsory subject in school. The proposers will introduce themselves at this time. Proposers. The first speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges and worthy opponents, my name is Akila Janet Chimyang, and I am the first speaker for my team, proposers.
Thank you, Akila. We move on to the second speaker of the proposing side.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and honorable opponents, my name is Mona Virgo, the first speaker of the opposition.
So we go back to the proposers and complete the proposing team before we go to the opposers. Starting with the second speaker of the proposing side.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Javier Porter, and I am the second speaker for my team, the proposers.
The third speaker of the proposing side.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kylie Edwards, and my team, the proposers, and I am on the team for the proposing side, Moot 7.
Okay, we need the person now to introduce herself or himself. The rebuttal.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am the rebuttalist for the proposing team.
Thank you so much. Now we will start with the second speaker of the opposing side, given the fact that the first speaker has introduced herself already.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jade Ann James, and I am the second speaker for the opposing team.
Thank you so much. We move to the third speaker.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Esteemed judges, my name is Mona Virgo, and I am the third speaker of the opposing side.
Now we will move to the person who is doing the rebuttal.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ariel Badel, the fourth speaker of the opposing side.
Thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please, before we start the debates, ensure that you're putting your emojis in the chat. Indeed, we are up for a great evening. And so, judges, we are ready. You need to set that time on the clock because we are about to start with our first speaker for the proposing team. First speaker of the proposing team.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges and worthy opponents, today we stand before you to advocate for the moot that Jamaican schools should teach sign language as a compulsory subject. This proposal is not just about adding another language to the curriculum. It is about fostering inclusivity, breaking down communication barriers, and enriching our society as a whole. Firstly, let's address the importance of the inclusivity in Jamaica. Like in many other countries, there is a significant population of individuals who are deaf or hard of hearing. According to the World Health Organization, over 5% of world's population, about 466 million people, have disabling hearing loss. In Jamaica, this number is significant enough that it cannot be ignored. By making sign language a compulsory subject in schools, we ensure that future generations are equipped to communicate with this often excluded group. This move will empower individuals who are deaf or hard of hearing, making them feel more included and valued in society. Secondly, teaching sign language promotes empathy and social cognition. When students learn sign language, they are not just learning a new way to communicate, They are learning about the experiences and challenges faced by those with hearing impairments. The education fosters empathy and understanding, breaking down social barriers and promoting a more cohesive and compassionate society in a world that is increasingly divided. These values are important than ever. Moreover, sign language is a valuable skill that enhances the cognitive, the academic abilities. Research has shown that learning a second language, including sign language, improves brain function. It enhances cognitive ability, problem-solving skills, and academic performance in other areas. By incorporating sign language into the curriculum, we are not just benefiting those who are deaf or hard of hearing, we are enhancing the educational experience for all students. Furthermore, consider the practical benefits. Jamaica is known for its vibrant tourism industry and having a population that is fluent in sign language. We can make the country more attractive to tourists who are deaf or hard of hearing. This inclusivity can boost our tourism sector, contributing to the economic growth. Additionally, professional settings being proficient in sign language can open up job opportunities and improve customer service, particularly in sectors such as healthcare, education, and hospitality. Let's talk about the ethical dimension as a society. We have a moral obligation to ensure that every individual, regardless of their abilities, has equal opportunities to communicate, learn, and participate fully in society. By making sign language a compulsory in schools, we are taking a significant step towards fulfilling this obligation. It is a matter of social justice and human rights. In conclusion, teaching sign language as a compulsory subject in Jamaican schools is not just merely an educational reform, it is a powerful statement about the kind of society we want to build. A society that values inclusivity, empathy, and equality. A society that recognizes the richness and diversity brings by supporting this youth. We are not just advocating for a new subject in the curriculum, we are advocating for a more inclusive Jamaica. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jin Young. There goes your first speaker from the proposing side. And we want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that we go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is 5 minutes for the first speaker, 4 minutes for the second speaker, 3 minutes the third speaker, and 1 minute for the rebuttal. We see the cognitive abilities on display this time. And so we want to invite our first speaker of the opposing team.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, and my worthy opponents, today we gather to the debates. Sign language shouldn't be a compulsory subject. As the first speaker for the opposition, I strongly believe that while sign language is valuable and beneficial, making it a compulsory subject in all schools is not the right approach. Firstly, let's consider the principle of curriculum design. Education systems are already under immense pressure to cover a wide range of essential subjects, including mathematics, science, literature, and physical education, among others. Adding sign language as a compulsory subject would necessitate either extending the school days or removing other subjects. Neither of these options is practical or beneficial. Extending the school day would lead to the students burning out, decreased engagement, or removing subjects, which could diminish a well-rounded education. Secondly, we must acknowledge the diverse needs and priorities of students. Not every student will need to use sign language in their daily lives or future careers. While it is a valuable skill, it is not universally applicable. It is not universally used. It is not actively used in the same way that subjects like mathematics and literature are. By making sign language compulsory, we are imposing a uniform requirement on diverse student body, many of whom might never have the opportunity or need to use this skill. Education should be tailored to meet the varied interests and future inspirations of students rather than imposing of one size fits of all mandates. Furthermore, consider the practical challenges of many things. To exemplary teach sign language, schools which need to hire qualified instructors and develop comprehensive teaching materials, giving correct corrections on educational budgets and resources. This could be a wild hurdle for many schools, particularly those in unfunded areas. Instead of spreading resources thin by adding another compulsory subject, it would be more prudent to focus on strengthening the quality of education in existing subjects. In addition, let's not overlook opportunity cost. Time spent on compulsory sign language instruction could be analyzed in subjects that directly contribute to students and future employment. That is my speech. I am the first speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Virgo. And we now move to the second speaker of the proposing team.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am the second speaker to share my speech. Today we are what? My name is Javier Porter, and today we are here to campaign a cause that surpasses simple academics. We advocate for the inclusion of sign language as a compulsory in schools. This isn't just about teaching another.
We've lost you, Mr. Porter. Continue.
Oh, sorry. One moment. Please.
Could you commence from the top?
Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties. It's not. I'm sorry, could you please repeat?
We are asking for you to start from the top. We have acknowledged the technical difficulties, and so
okay. My apologies.
Start from the top.
Okay, please give me a moment. Okay.
Is it a challenge we can assist you with, Mr. Porter?
He seems to be having some internet issues, so I need a confirmation from him if he's okay to continue.
Okay, thank you, technical team. Is he still on or?
Okay. I'm still here.
You've rectified the
Okay.
issue? Great. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. Okay. My name is Javier Porter, and today I am here to campaign a cause that surpasses simple academics. I advocate for the inclusion of sign language as a compulsory subject in Jamaican schools. This isn't just about teaching another language, it's about breaking barriers. Firstly, Jamaica has always prided itself on its inclusive spirit. However, our education system still has strides to make in truly accommodating the needs of all learners. By introducing sign language to the curriculum, we are not only meeting the needs of the deaf and hard of hearing community, but we are also creating a more inclusive environment for everyone. Teaching sign language fosters fellow feelings for and understanding among students. It promotes a society of acceptance and appreciation for diversity. By learning to communicate in sign language, students gain a deeper understanding of the challenges faced by the deaf community and develop empathy towards their peers. This in turn cultivates a more compassionate and inclusive society. Additionally, proficiency in sign language opens up a multitude of opportunities for employment and social integration. In today's globalized world, being bilingual is a valuable asset in the job market. By equipping students with proficiency in sign language, we are expanding their skill set and social settings, breaking down barriers and fostering social cohesion. In conclusion, the inclusion of sign language as a compulsory subject in Jamaican schools is not a matter of accommodation. It's a matter of by let us take this step into making a more inclusive future for Jamaica. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Porter. Now we move to the second speaker of the opposing side.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to start by introducing myself. My name is Jaden James, and today I am opposing the motion of Moot 4. Teaching sign language in school may seem like a noble idea, but it's a luxury that we cannot afford. With limited resources and a packed curriculum, whether PEP or CXC curriculum, we must prioritize the subjects that will benefit the students. This is an evidence by an interesting story. Samantha, a student with a learning disability, struggled with her school's sign language program. Despite her best effort, she found it hard to grasp and felt like she was falling behind her peers. Her grades in the class were poor, and she began to dread coming to school. Samantha's parents and teachers encouraged her to keep trying, but she felt like they didn't understand her struggles. She felt like the program was a waste of her time and that it only added to her stress and frustration. In the end, Samantha's experience with the sign language program was a negative one. She wished that her school had offered more support and accommodation for students like her instead of forcing this new accommodation. Now imagine what a child can be going through. This accommodation might not be good for a generation but like ours, but this might help for a generation like 2020. But we aren't in a 2020 generation. Can you imagine what Samantha has been going through with this cyberbullying because of how this accommodation took a toll on her grades and not being able to do sign language at the best of her abilities? She might even get depressed and get addicted to drugs. Do you want our students to get addicted to drugs? The majority of students will not need sign language in our daily lives, and the time spent teaching it could be better spent on core subjects like math, science, language, art, and social studies, where some may struggle. Instead of teaching sign language to all students, let's provide interpreters and accommodation for hearing impaired who need them. This approach is more targeted and effective. Let's prioritize the subjects that will have the greatest impact on the largest number of students. Let's focus on giving all students solid foundation in the basics rather than trying to teach them a new skill that few will use. I rest my case.
Thank you, second speaker of the opposing team. And we now move to the third speaker on the proposing side.
Madam Speaker, esteemed judges, ladies and gentlemen, students, fellow opponents, and my fellow teammates, good evening. Today, I am honored to address you on an important topic: why sign language should be taught as a compulsory subject in school. My name is Kylie Edwards, and I believe that incorporating sign language in our education system will bring numerous benefits to our society. Firstly, sign language promotes inclusivity, and understanding. In Jamaica, like many other countries, there are people who are deaf or hard of hearing. By learning sign language, we can communicate with them more effectively and make them feel included in our communities. This fosters a sense of belonging and mutual respect, ensuring that no one is left out because of their hearing ability. Secondly, learning sign language enhances cognitive skills and academic performance. Research has shown that learning a second language, including sign language, improves brain function, memory, and problem-solving skills. It also enhances our understanding of grammar and vocabulary. We can translate to a better performance in other subjects, such as English and mathematics. Moreover, teaching sign language in schools prepares students for a wider range of career opportunities. Many professions, including healthcare, education, and customer service, requires the ability to communicate with people who use sign language. By equipping our students with this skill, we are making them more versatile and competitive in the job market. Another important point is that learning sign language promotes empathy and cultural awareness. Understanding the challenges faced by the deaf community and appreciating their culture encourages us to be more compassionate and open-minded. This helps us to grow as individuals and as a society, breaking down barriers and fostering a more inclusive environment. Additionally, sign language is a beautiful and expressive form of communication. It allows us to convey emotions and ideas in unique ways that spoken language sometimes cannot capture. By learning sign language, students can develop a deeper appreciation for different forms of expression and creativity. Finally, making sign language a compulsory subject in Jamaican schools aligns with global trends towards more inclusive and accessible education. Many countries have already recognized the importance of sign language and have integrated it into their curricula. By doing the same, Jamaica can position itself as a leader in inclusive education and set an example for others to follow. In conclusion, teaching sign language in schools is not just about learning a new language. It's about creating a more inclusive, empathetic, and skilled society. It is about giving all students the tools they need to succeed in a diverse world. Let us take this important step forward to ensure that sign language becomes a vital part of our education. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Edwards. And we will move to the third speaker. of the opposing team.
Hi, my name is Mona Virgo, the third speaker of my debate. So let me get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, and honorable opponents, as we draw to a close in this debate, it is crucial to repeat our stance against mandating sign language as a compulsory subject in schools. While the intentions behind such a proposal are doubtless noble, we must consider the broader implications and possibilities that accompany such a mandate. First, education is about preparing students for diverse challenges of tomorrow's world. While proficiency in sign language is doubtless valuable for fostering inclusivity and communication with the deaf community, it is not universally appropriate to all students. Our educational system must be organized subjects that equip students with fundamental skills appropriate across various fields and career paths. The limited resources and time available in schools should be dedicated to subjects that have broader impacts on our academic and professional development. Secondly, the landscape of communication is rapidly evolving with technologically advancements, providing alternative means for inclusive communications from speech to text technologies these times to real-time translation apps. These innovations offer effective ways to bridge communications gaps without require universal sign language proficiency. Mandating sign language as a compulsory subject, diverting attention and resources away from adapting to these technological advancements, which are more capable and universally recommendable. Furthermore, education should respect, promote individual choice and cultural sensitivity. While sign language is a vital part of deaf culture and community, mandating its subjects could carelessly diminish its significance as a choice rooted in respect and genuine interest. Students have the freedom to choose to learn sign language out of a personal interest and a diverge of engage meaningfully with deaf community rather than a mandatory requirement imposed educationally institutions. In conclusion, while we recognize the importance of sign language in fostering inclusivity and communication, we believe that its mandate as a compulsory subject in schools is not the most effective or practical approach. Education must remain reflective, responsive to the diverse needs and aspirations of students. Let us prioritize inclusivity through innovations, adapt means preserving the autonomy of educational choices that preserve our students' futures. Thank you.
Thank you, Mona Ray. And we saw Mona Ray actually doubling up on the opposition team. We want to say that we've heard from all three speakers from each side, and now we prepare for the rebuttal. And so we want to be able to look at some vocabulary in this round of the debate. Children utilizing words like mandatory, diminish, bridge, diverting, vital, and inclusivity. At this time, we'll ask our technical team to place the children in the breakout room while they prepare for their rebuttal. Very interesting debate at this time. We understand the need for inclusivity, equity, important. This should be a debate that the nation's children should be examining at this time when we want to ensure that we are bridging the gaps with those who are able to do well academically given the resources and the necessary opportunities. Here at STAPS, we want to say to our teachers as well as the parents and the students, congratulations, they have done so well. We also want to acknowledge this week at STAPS on Friday, those students who have done well in swimming, in music, in dance, as well as chess. Those areas will be acknowledged on Friday, will be celebrated on Friday at STAPS. And remember, our graduation exercise will be on June 30 at the St. Andrew High School for Girls, beginning at 5 p.m. So those persons who are online, please remember that you have to put those pieces of information in your diary. We give them just a minute to prepare for their rebuttal. And we are asking those persons who are awaiting the second debate to prepare themselves by ensuring that they establish the sides that they are going to be on. Our technical team requires that support. Just want to say thank you again. And there are some persons who should not be online. You should be on YouTube. We say that you have to ensure that we are following the directives of the technical team at this time, because we know that the children can be a little bit nervous. And we see a little bit of nerve displayed a while ago. It's not easy to try to debate for your team when nerves gets in the way, and we understand what a little nerve can actually do to us as speakers. It's not easy at all. And so we do congratulate the students who are debating for their classes. We must establish that the opposers and the proposers are from the same class. We just want to make sure that we're exposing our children to this opportunity for them to develop public speaking skills. They may not be perfect today, ladies and gentlemen, but they are preparing themselves for the future, and we want to support them in this regard. And so we say thank you to also our judges who have actually given up their time and talent to be with us to adjudicate in these matches. Thank you so much, judges. We notice that there are some unassigned persons in the Zoom room. And so if it is that you're not a speaker, perhaps you ought not to be online, but to join us on YouTube. Just the debaters should be online at this time. And if you saw a debater doubling up, it simply means that perhaps someone did not reach in time, and that speaker tried as much as possible to assist their team. You know what it is like when it is that you're trying to get out of traffic to be at home. And perhaps that was a situation where Mona Ray had to fill in for another speaker. And so we thank her for doing so. Perhaps it was very nerve-wracking for her to be doubling up at a time when she was going to be focusing on her own speech. So that minute is up. And so technical team, I'm asking that you bring back the persons in the room. And we'll start the rebuttal with the opposers.
Could you announce once more?
We'll start the rebuttal with the opposing side.
Madam Speaker, my name is Abigail Thompson and I'm the rebuttalist for the opposers, vote for. Madam Speaker, distinguished judges, and my fellow opponents, I surely do not agree with the points made in my fellow opponent's speeches. Using sign language will help you communicate with persons hard of hearing. The points made in my fellow opposer's speech, like how sign language should not be a compulsory subject, I do not agree. This subject will help you with many aspects in learning and also helps you with learning empathy. Sign language also helps you with cognitive skills. My fellow opposers, without a doubt, I do not believe that sign language should be a compulsory subject in schools. I rest my case.
Thank you, member of the proposing side, and we move, opposing side. We now look to the proposers for their rebuttal.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ariel Badal, the fourth speaker of the opposer side. Even though we understand the importance of inclusivity, it is important to note that making sign language a compulsory subject may not be a very effective way to achieve this goal. What about the additional cost of implementing sign language education? You must remember that implementing sign language education will require significant funding and resources. Isn't it unfair to require all students to learn sign language even if they don't need it? I want to take away from the focus on other important subjects such as math and science. Not all students will need or use sign language skills in their future careers. Instead, we propose offering sign language as an elective course for students who are interested in learning sign language. This will ensure that those who need it the most can still access it while also considering the possibility of our education system. I rest my case.
Thank you. So actually, judges, let me restate. So Badal is actually from the opposing team, and we saw Daniel Sr. doing it for the proposers. So our judges will actually now be taken in the breakout room for their deliberations. And we remind our judges that we do have a best speaker. The selection of the best speaker is important. It's indeed a different time at school, and so we know that the children are preoccupied preparing for their graduation school leaving exercise. Let me say school leaving exercise. And also the joy of having to look at their results and feeling so happy about it. We still have 9 unassigned participants, and so the participants for the next debate, we ask that you name yourselves so that the technical team can know that you must be here on the Zoom line. Those unassigned participants who need to join us via YouTube, kindly make yourselves available for that platform so that our second set of debaters can do so with little or no challenges for the technical team. Let me say a big thank you also, or again, to our judges, our teachers who have been working with the children, and we know that they had quite a lot to do, so the preparation levels this year or this time may have diminished somewhat because there's quite a lot of things to do as we prepare to close school. And so you probably will see that evident in today's last round of the debate. But nonetheless, we still had to give our children the opportunity to do their last round. But we know that they have been bombarded with quite a lot of activities, including the celebrations after hearing such wonderful results. And again, we want to say thank you to all the teachers of STAPS, all the workers who have impacted the lives of our grade 6 students, and they have done so very well. All our stakeholders should be taking a bow at this time because we've had fantastic results. And for that, we want to say thank you, Lord, for what you have done. At this time, I should see our viewers trying to make sure that they are giving the necessary support to our debaters, the love, and also our congratulatory statements for our PEP students. If you want to notify them by name, you may do so. If you want to just give a shout out to the entire cohort, please feel free to do so as well as the teachers. It is indeed time and place for us to big up those teachers who have been working so hard with the children. We want to acknowledge two parents, if you're online, teachers from K to 6. Kindergarten was indeed the foundation. And so we want you to acknowledge those teachers as well. Grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. Also parents and teachers, if you're online, other students who are online, the classmates who are online, you may also shout out to your favorite teachers and just say thank you to them. Remember, we're starting from K to 6. So don't leave out any grade. All the grades are important, and all the teachers have been important in ensuring that the product, your final PEP results, are what they are today. And so please acknowledge all your teachers, including your specialist teachers, teachers in speech and drama, Mr. Nicholas, our teacher of dance and music, Miss Bailey, our teacher of music, Mr. Taylor, teacher of Spanish, Mr. Leon, teacher of art, Miss Walters. We need to look at all our teachers. Computer studies, Mrs. Henry, our guidance counselor, Mrs. Neal. Let us look at all our teachers. I hope I have not forgotten any of them. Let me say Coach Johnson, Coach Peters. We need to be saying congratulations to all our teachers, our ancillary staff, and the nurse. It's time to do that, children, as you prepare to leave the nest. All our grade 6ers who are online, while you are supporting your classmates, make sure that gratitude is expressed. Are our judges back?
Let me check with the judges right now to see their current
Okay.
status.
Let me remind you that we do have an international panel of judges. We have Jamaican judges here from Citibank, documentation officers, analysts, and we also have our client relations officer from Beryllium, and all the way in Florida, we have another judge. And we thank them all for being here. We want to say big up to also the debaters who are online. We thank you for representing. We know that you are not necessarily perfect, but guess what? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. And we are happy we are here with you for that first step in your journey on the road to public speaking.
And the judges are back.
And so judges will invite the chief judge to make the statements pertaining to the verdict for this debate.
Hi, everyone. So this was a very competitive session, and we want to thank all the participants. And again, congratulations on your successful completion of the PEP series, especially those young ladies going to 10 Cecilia Avenue over by the great St. Andrew High School for Girls, life more abundant. Hi, Zana. So we discussed it and we found our best speaker. But first, we want to give special recognition to two young ladies. First one is Danielle Senior, the rebuttal for the proposers, sorry, and also Mona Ray Virgo. We want to give her special recognition because we know it's not an easy task to be presenting twice. And even us as adults, we find it hard to come to the public and speak. So good job on that. And we commend you for your hard work. Overall, we found that the proposers won this round. They highlighted many valid points, citing a few research resources, and their points came across stronger and with more content. The opposers, very commendable performance. We'd like to say that they did have a few points coming across, but the stronger team was the proposers in this session. Congratulations. And with that being said, despite the proposers being the winners, our best speaker was Jade and James from the opposers. So congratulations to everyone across the board.
Thank you so much, Chief Judge Blake, there in Florida, judging the first debate in favor of the proposers. So the proposing side won the debate, but we had our best speaker coming from the opposing team. Congratulations, our first round of debaters for this evening's debate session. And so we prepare ourselves for debate number 2. Debate number 2, the moot is, be it resolved, children under 13 years should not be allowed to have cell phones. The moot, be it resolved, children under 13 years should not be allowed to have cell phones. The first speaker of the proposing side, you may begin.
Good evening, esteemed judges and audience. My name is Eliza Russell, the first speaker for Moot 2 opposers.
Today, my team and I will be proposing the moot. The minimum age for getting a cell phone should be 13. I agree with the moot as there are many factors why children under the age of 13 should not have a cell phone, some of which are cyberbullying and decreased face-to-face interactions. As you may know, cyberbullying is a major problem in this day and age of social media. Cyberbullying can break down a person's mental health. This may cause a child to think of themselves as those bad things said to them. Additionally, the longer a child spends on their device, the more drawn in they will get, and the deeper they will dive into the web. This may lead to inappropriate things. Seeing these things may alter a child's thoughts and behavior. My second reason why children under the age of 13 should not have a cell phone is decreased face-to-face interactions. Having face-to-face interactions with the people around you is extremely essential and necessary to a child's academic progress. Not having any of this may lower a child's ability to communicate physically with others, which may affect their ability to communicate when older and further cause difficulty applying for a job which requires communication skills. Furthermore, without face-to-face interactions, a child may not be able to gain friends. As a result, the child will not have many people to talk to or play with, especially at school, where a child spends most of the day. This would not give them much confidence in their school life, further causing their grade in class to deplete. Therefore, I would agree that the minimum age for getting a cell phone should be 13. Thank you.
Thank you, first speaker of the proposing team. Now we move to the first speaker of the opposing side.
According to Common Sense Media, 71% of students have a phone by the age of 12. Good evening, Dr. Blanchard, Madam Chair, worthy opponents, and fellow audience. My name is GNL Vogel, and I'm a part of Team 2A. We will be opposing the moot. Be it resolved that the minimum age for getting a cell phone is 13. The key words from the moot are minimum, getting, and cell phone. According to the Oxford Dictionary, the word minimum means the smallest amount or quantity possible. As follows, getting means to receive, and cell phone is a wireless telephone that has certain features including calling, texting, etc. Children under the age of 13 are developing a sense of responsibility and are eager to showcase their maturity. Owning a cell phone is a great way to teach them about responsibility, important life skills, and time management. For the children who still haven't fully matured, parents have the option to block out certain apps and manage their time. Moreover, entertainment is important to a child's development, creativity, and socialization. I will now pass over to Liam Logan, who will further explain reasons why children under 13 should have a cell phone. Thank you.
Okay, but we jump to the proposers for the second speaker.
Good evening, judges, viewers, my opponents. and my fellow teammates, I will be adding on to what my fellow colleague just stated on how phones can be dangerous for a number of reasons. Firstly, smart cell phones are a huge factor for obesity. Did you know that a staggering 43% of obesity cases come from cell phones? As when an individual already has an unhealthy lifestyle by eating junk food, for example, the inactivity that these people later do causes fat to build up in their body, making them obese. It could cause diabetes, which in very common cases leads to death. As stated by my colleague Elisha Russell, there are inappropriate things on the internet that can be found if people are too drawn into their phones. And if parents aren't as active as they should be, it could even seem like the phone is raising the child, which is not good because there are many bad influences on social media. Sometimes children aren't as careful when posting on social media as they should be. Children under 13 who have not fully matured should not be expected to do any better than an adult. I believe strongly that if you are too young to have a phone or to go onto social media, you should not be allowed. After all, their mind is not fully developed. And if you don't make a correct post on social media, you could accidentally allow people to track your location, which could end up in kidnappings. Or if you are not careful when browsing the internet, kids oftentimes try to search for something that they'd want as if it would teleport there if they clicked on the links. This can cause children to get viruses on their devices. In bad cases, this could be ransomware, which costs a lot of money when a hacker demands some money from you. And when if this money is not given, then all your personal information could be released to the public. Now, I think a way to stop this would simply be to allow mature children to have a cell phone. But most mature children are over the age of 13 because they have gone through puberty. I rest my case.
Thank you, Sir Jude, from the proposing side. Now we will meet with the second speaker of the opposing side.
Good evening, Principal Dr. Blanchard, esteemed judges, my worthy opponents, and spectators. The access to cellular phones is very useful for the development of a child's education, particularly those under the age of 13 years. My team and I thus firmly oppose the moot. Be it resolved that the minimum age for getting a cell phone should be 13 years. Firstly, cellular devices can be used for research and are essential tools for learning. They provide access to educational resources, facilitates communication with the teachers and peers, and enable students to develop vital digital literacy skills. Nowadays, Most cell phones have access to the internet, which can be used to enhance research, to help with the child's studies through access to courses, statistics, online explanations to questions they may not understand, and so on. This research would also help students with their projects and presentations. Technology is used to enhance education in schools and is vital to many jobs across the globe. It would therefore make the most sense to expose children to the technological world through access to cellular phones to help them better navigate through the world of technology later in life. In addition, research acquired by the device also allows for access to websites such as the Public Broadcasting Service, PBS Kids, which is a channel dedicated to children in the United States, Smithsonian Twin Turbine, and Scholastic Kids, which all provide educational content, games, and quizzes that support learning. Moreover, these phones can be used for access to apps such as Duolingo and IXL, which contribute to the building of skills in subjects such as language arts, mathematics, and science. Furthermore, cellular phones give access to electronic or e-books. Even when on the go or stuck in traffic, a student can be listening to a history book from his or her cellular phone. According to a study done by psychology experts, and I quote, the survey suggested that there will be both positive and negatives associated with allowing mobile phones in the classroom. Specifically, 55% of those surveyed agreed that there will be learning behavior changes that generally produce positive outcomes, such as improved problem-solving abilities. End quote. If experts can agree that the advantages of cell phones used in schools generally lead to a positive outcome, why are we even considering a ban on cell phones for those under the age of 13? Not to mention the fact that some students are simply more responsible than others. While some students will waste their time playing games on the device, there will be meticulous students that use the phone for academic purposes. Wouldn't it simply be unreasonable for these students? Furthermore, setting a minimum age of 13 for access to cellular phones may deprive the students of valuable learning opportunities, hindering their academic growth and competitiveness in an increasingly technology-driven world. In conclusion, the ban of cell phones for those under the age of 13 is simply a preposterous and unreasonable proposal. This would significantly hinder the education of young children. I will now hand over to my next speaker, Nathan Hunter, who will further elaborate on the importance of cell phones. I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Liam, but just hold on to that baton change because we're going to go to the third speaker of the proposing team. Third speaker from the proposing team. third speaker from the proposing team. May I get a response from the proposers?
Excuse me, Doctor.
Sorry. Sorry, hearing me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. As my esteemed colleague Elisha said, I also agree with the move. This being said, regarding the move, the main words are should, smartphone, not, and children. As a matter of fact, this is not a need to some extent, but a privilege. Regarding this, we recognize, however, that many parents still choose to provide their children with cell phones. We strongly recommend to parents who think it is absolutely necessary that their child have a phone at school consider giving them him or her the simplest instrument and not some of the expensive, sophisticated phones we currently see. This can be proven as although going into high school a cell phone is needed, a smartphone is a little excessive as the main feature needed is a phone number, which can be used in cell phones. Also, although older phones may have outdated software and security patches, making them potentially more vulnerable to security threats, smartphones, on the other hand, have more health risks such as changes in cognitive ability, problems with social or emotional skills, problems sleeping, and mental laziness.
Are you finished,
Good
sir?
evening.
Are you finished, sir?
Yes.
You've completed your presentation?
My part.
You've completed your presentation?
Yes, miss.
Thank you. So we move to the third speaker of the opposing side.
Good evening, esteemed judges, principal, and others. My name is Nathan Hunter, and I am a part of Team 2A, who is opposing the moot be it resolved that the minimum age of getting a cell phone is 13 years old. In my opinion, the minimum age of getting a cell phone is 8. Do you know how chaotic it would be if the minimum age of getting a cell phone is 13 years old? Well, lucky for you. I'm going to tell you why it is important to get a cell phone under the age of 13 years old. When you get your cell phone under the age of 13 years old, let's say you're in danger and you need to call your parents or your guardian for help. However, you wouldn't have a phone to call your guardian or your parent for help. So how would you get out of that danger? Another reason why getting a cell phone under the age of 13 years is for transportation. Let's say your parent or a driver left you at school and they remember to pick you up. Wouldn't you want to contact them to remind them to pick you up? But how would you do that if you didn't have a phone? And how would you return? Another reason for getting a cell phone under the age of 13 years is for waking up. Let's say how would you wake up without the alarm or your parents to wake you up? Finally, another reason why a child should get a cell phone under the age of 13 is for education. In grade 6, you will need a phone to do different apps like Google Classroom, quizzes, just to name a few. However, you will probably be around the age of 13 years, 12 to 11 to 12 years old. From my experience, we use the device for education such as Google Classroom, quizzes, just to name a few. But how would you be able to go on these education apps without a cell phone? In conclusion, you see how essential it is to get a cell phone under the age of 13 years. I rest my case.
Thank you, Sir Nathan. And so we've completed all the presentations from first to third speaker. And so we want to be able at this time to put the speakers in the breakout room for them to prepare for their rebuttal. So we invite our speakers to go in the breakout room for the preparation of the rebuttal segment of the debate. We remind you that when the judges deliberate, they will also consider the best speaker of the match and make a decision regarding the winner of the debate. We also want to remind you that both the proposers and the opposers are from the same class. We are just ensuring that we are exposing our children to public speaking. The development of those skills are certainly very important, and we look to the future with these children as we prepare them to become outstanding speakers wherever they are in this world. And so we'll also give time to our judges when the rebuttal segment is over to deliberate. We want to remind you that our prize giving ceremony for our students who are in grades 3 to 5 will be on the 1st of July. The prize giving ceremony for those persons in our kindergarten department to grade 2 will be on July 2nd. There are indeed some school field trips that are prepared or planned rather for this period. And so we ask that you check the brief to see what is planned for your child's class. The family prayers and school leaving ceremony for our grade 6 students will be on Sunday, June 30, commencing at 5 p.m. We do ask that those persons who are attending the ceremony that you are seated by 4:30. Very important notices as we await the rebuttal segment for the last round of debates for our grade 6 students, assisting them to own their skills in public speaking. And they will get a chance to watch the debates on YouTube. And so don't forget to send your emojis, put your emojis in the chat, along with your statements supporting these students who have offered themselves for representation. We want to again express thanks to our teachers and our parents, as well as the debaters who are online. Certainly, we can't leave our technical team out, as well as our international panel of judges. Very, very important. It was indeed my pleasure to be hosting these wonderful debate segments, or sessions, I should say. It gives me an in-depth understanding of where my students are as principal of the institution. I'm very happy to be where learning can be exposed so that we understand where the gaps are, etc. And we'll continue to work in ensuring that we are developing children and their skills. And so I think a minute has expired and we recall these students to make their presentations. We'll start with the representative from the opposing team.
Good evening, Dr. Blanchard, judges, proposers, and fellow audience. My opponents have argued in favor of setting the minimum age for owning a cell phone at 13 years old. However, my team and I stand here firm in opposition. As my teammates have addressed, cell phones are helpful for communication, education, entertainment, and develops a sense of responsibility. Now you are saying children need to wait until they're 13 to experience these benefits? That is absurd. Addressing cyberbullying, minimal face-to-face time, inappropriate behaviors, and so on. Why ban phones when we can ban the apps and websites causing these actions? In modern-day technology, parents have the option to limit screen time so students can have a social life. Also, phones promote more communication with peers from afar. In relation to the lifestyle diseases, there are certain apps on the phone that promote fitness and options so you can exercise daily. As you can see, there are more advantages than disadvantages for having a phone. Banning smartphones for children under 13 isn't the answer. I hope my teammates and I helped you to realize that we should allow our children to use their phone before they are 13. I rest my case.
Thank you, Ms. Watt, who is also our deputy captain here at the institution. We now move to the proposers with their rebuttal.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow students, and esteemed judges. While the opposition argues that cell phones provide educational benefits, and safety for children under 13, we must consider that the overwhelming evidence of potential harm. Numerous studies have shown that excessive screen time negatively impacts young children's cognitive development, attention spans, and sleep quality. Additionally, cell phones expose them to cyberbullying and inappropriate content, as mentioned by our first speaker, which they are ill-equipped to handle. Furthermore, the reliance on cell phones can hinder the development of crucial social skills, as face-to-face interaction are essential for emotional intelligence and empathy. While safety is a valid concern, there are alternative means, such as wearable GPS that can ensure children's safety without the risks associated with smartphones. Ultimately, it is our responsibility to protect the well-being of our children during these formative years. Therefore, I rest my case. Children under 13 years should not be allowed to have cell phones.
Thank you, Mr. Heslop. Now we ask the judges to go into the room to make that decision, that very important decision that will determine the side that has won the debate, as well as the best speaker of the match. Judges, get into the room. Debaters, we await the verdict. And at this time, we want to thank you for availing yourselves for this experience. We want to say that 50%, quite a significant piece of statistic, 50% of the cohort this year participated in the debate rounds. And we are very, very proud of that piece of statistic. And we want to also say the other 50% have been learning vicariously. That too is also very, very important. We also want to measure that fraction of the student body that is online and two, participating in a vicarious experience. And that too should account for something, because we're sure, having been exposed to this event, the children are preparing themselves for their opportunity next academic year. I'm a little nervous here. I heard some good debating going on, and it's indeed up my street. I really, really like this segment of the development of the students. I really like the public speaking. I must admit that I enjoyed being the host. Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you that this is indeed the last debate in the series of debates for this academic year. If you enjoy the series, please put it in the chat. If you had a favorite round in the series, also indicate. Put it in the chat. If you have a favorite speaker, put it in the chat. And if you are just amazed by all the speakers and this experience, we invite you to put it in the chat. St. Andrew Preparatory School is indeed committed to the development of our students. And we also see the students online on the Zoom line saying that they enjoyed it. That is indicative that they will actually continue in high school. Quite a clear signal we are getting online to say that children will definitely be continuing this journey in the area of public speaking. What a skill to own. We are seeing our future CEOs. We are seeing future head girls and head boys.
Let me check with the judges just to see how they are.
Thank you, Mr. White. See, we are real-time online. Next time we will introduce some commercial breaks and of course, ensure we have sponsors next year. And at this time, we could be talking to a few sponsors. So if there are parents out there, next time you could sponsor the debate and we could be doing prizes for the children who are online. So make sure that if it is that you're associated with a company or companies, we may just decide to make you a sponsor next year. And you could actually tell us if you want to sponsor the debate so that we can actually have some prizes for our children.
And the judges are ready.
And so we are aware that our judges are ready. And so I'll hand over to our chief judge for the verdict in this debate.
Good night again, everyone. And good job to all the students who participated in the debate today. We did enjoy it. Both sessions were very enjoyable. The students really represented themselves. I want to say thank you. We as adults sometimes couldn't even do what you do, but we want to say thank you. And you, despite the outcome, you all did very well and represented yourselves accordingly. First, we want to look at the proposals. You made valid points centered around current affairs and public discourse. You can tell that you have your ears to the ground and you're listening to your parents and the adults around you, and you're on social media, seeing what is going on out there. So good job on that. The opposers did a very good job presenting factual information from online resources and an excellent rebuttal. The Leah Watts, she was excellent in rebutting all the points presented by the proposers, which is not an easy feat, and she represented herself very well. Congratulations to you in that position. It was a very close race for Best Speaker, and we decided on Best Speaker being Liam Logan, and overall, based on the two presentations, we gave it to the opposers. So congratulations to the opposers and congratulations to Liam.
What a verdict. So the best speaker, Liam Logan, came from the opposing side, and the opposers were also judged the best team for this debate. Thank you so much, children. Thank you so much, judges. And remember, we are actually doing this friendly rivalry because you're all from the same class. And we thank you for the kind of sportsmanship that was shown today. We thank our judges and we thank our technical team. Now you are off to dinner, and I'm sure you will have a wonderful feast, having had our appetizer, the debate. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to the debates next year. And did I say we need sponsors? Yes, we do. So if you know of a company who wishes to sponsor our debaters or our debate competition, please let us know. Congratulations to all our students. Congratulations to the school for hosting such an experience, an event. And so we want to say again, multiple thanks to our judges, our esteemed panel of judges, and of course, our technical team, the teachers, the debaters themselves, and our parents for assisting. You are indeed our valued parents, and we thank you for supporting the programs in our schools. Thank you so much. That's what I've had to say from me today as your host, and I was very proud, very happy hosting this competition. Thank you for giving me that opportunity. And we'll close with our school song. Bye for now.